justice for all. Okay, I'd like to welcome everyone to the August 3rd Planning Commission meeting. We have 2 items on the agenda and a couple other cleanup items we'll also address. First thing we'll do is you all were given the minutes to the previous meeting, which was October 7th, 2019. If you don't have any corrections, I'll entertain a motion and second to approve.
So moved for approval.
Thank you, Mr. Hallett.
I'll second.
Thank you, Barney. Any further discussion on that? Roll call, please, Andy.
Okay, we got a motion on the floor to approve the October 7th, 2019 minutes. Dick?
Yes.
Barney?
Yes.
Bryan?
Yes.
Tyson?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried, minutes approved.
All right, before we
Andy,
get into item
you
2, I will note that we did have 2 members that decided to resign from the board. Nikki Warnicki, we thank her for her years of service, but with her job in Defiance now, it makes it a little tougher to get here. And Marv Merrillet also, due to time constraints, he just felt it was better if he resigned. So with that, I believe we can accept their resignations. I would take a motion on that in a second, please.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Hallett.
I'll second it.
All right, thank you, Barney. And before we do roll call, I will mention that if anyone is interested in serving on the Planning Commission, please write a letter or send an email to the mayor's office and let her know that you're expressing interest, and it has to be a City of Bryan resident to do that. Okay, Andy, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, motion on the floor to accept Nikki Warnicki and Marv Merrillet's resignation. Dick?
Yes.
Barney?
Yes.
Bryan?
Yes.
Tyson?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Okay, motion carried, resignations accepted.
Okay, next item on the agenda. Andy, I'll let you take over.
Okay, the first item is a parking setback variance, a 20-foot relief of a 20-foot parking setback for the Ohio Gas Company located at 715 East Wilson Street. If you're looking at the site plan, the existing building had asphalt going all the way out to the sidewalk, with parking up by the existing sidewalk to the building. They want to increase that parking and move it closer to the existing building and the proposed building, have parking up there, and then in between the 2 driveways have parking along the sidewalk. Initially, they wanted to go all the way down to Toy Street, and then they revised the plan and came back with what is proposed. So really, it's just a continuation of the existing parking down a couple spots.
Yeah, it's 2 spots basically that they're adding, another 20 feet. And Andy and I have looked at this several times. We drove out there. We don't see any vision problems at all with that. You can see the oncoming traffic all the way from the railroad tracks on down to the corner. So, you know, from a technical standpoint, we, the engineering department, do not have an issue with this variance request.
I'll make a motion. We grant the variance.
Oh, that was quick. All right, thank you.
Second.
All right. Andrew?
I would like to add that I had not received any calls on this request, so.
No, we did have one neighbor stop in here prior to the meeting also, and he had no issues with it also. He lived across the street. So we will note that as well.
Before we do roll call, does anybody have anything to add video conference wise?
Move on.
All right, we got a motion on the floor to approve the parking setback variance. Barney?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Dick?
Yes.
Bryan?
Yes.
Tyson?
Yes.
Okay, motion carried, parking setback variance approved. Moving on to the next item, we have a site development plan review for proposed Dollar General located at 1420 West High Street. all should have received plans on this one. They are looking to raise the existing custom cleaners, start with a brand new site and build a new Dollar General store. As you can see in the site plan, they are shifting the existing drive on West High Street over a little bit and eliminating the drive onto County Road 13. I would note out that they are asking for a reduced number of parking spaces. Required was 45. They are asking for 33. As you can see on the site plan, if it becomes an issue, there is plenty of room to add additional parking if it is an issue, but they know what they need parking wise. I would like to add that I did receive one call on this request from Richard Brandt, who lives at 04337 County Road 13, which is just on the other side of this site, close to the railroad tracks. He was against this proposed development. Land value reasons, that's what he was citing. That was the only call that I have had. They did submit their stormwater calcs and a landscape plan. We will have court review the landscape plan, make sure everything's okay there, at a later date.
And we did do a plan review on this, and we have a couple comments that we are going to issue to the designer. Small comments, nothing major, just I want to see something a little different with the drive approach and some curbing and just minor issues that we would just recommend they do different. But all in all, we had a little concern to begin with the parking spaces, but they said with their history on these sites, they build them all over, they know pretty much how many cars they have in and out, and so they didn't feel it was an issue. And we've done parking lot reductions as well in the past. So usually it's for space constraints, but here it's just, cost constraints, I believe.
So they have the ability to increase the parking area if
Yeah,
deemed necessary.
If it's necessary, and I guess if we do approve this site, I would maybe recommend that if parking does become a problem, that they would be obligated to add the spaces in there, so we actually had it in writing if we did grant that variance. But all the Dollar General stores in the area I've seen, it seems like they do have ample parking.
Well, I think this is going to be an added improvement to the city, and I certainly have no objection. I think it's great to see an old building taken away and
Right.
something new in a retail establishment for that end of town. It's important as well.
Okay. Andy, so you only had the one person that called in. We don't have anybody that has called in here, correct, Mayor? There's been no phone calls.
Not to my knowledge. There is a caller 3 that I'm not sure who you are. Would you mind identifying yourself if you did not type your name in? Nope. I don't know who caller 3 is, but Mr. Gage, did you have anything to add as the developer or realtor?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Really the biggest reason for this request, it's not a cost issue. We are pressed by DEP to reduce our footprint
as much as possible. More than 30 parking spaces. We are opting for 33 here just to make it a little bit more balanced site. So with the addition of the additional parking that is required, basically all that's going to do is domino the design effect as we go downstream. As far as stormwater runoff, our detention facility obviously would grow. And we won't be using the parking spaces. These stores typically will generate 10 cars per hour from the time it opens till the time it closes. They do have a peak hour in the afternoon, normally around whatever your local rush hour time is. And that traffic will increase to 23 cars, and that still leaves 10 parking spaces unused, 3 of which will be employees. So we feel like we are exceeding what the store needs and just asking for a 28% from the 45 down to, sorry about that.
The bell rings, the dogs bark, we know.
That's all I've got for now. Let me see if I can shut him up. Be right back.
No problem.
Again, our office will still review the final plans and make sure everything conforms and make sure the landscaping conforms, but as far as the site development plan, I don't have any major heartburn over anything here. I'm kind of happy to see the driveway leaving that goes out on State Route 34. I know a lot of people seem to cut through there and cut across there, so I think that'll help the situation out a little bit here. So, yeah, again, I don't have any issues at all with the reduction in parking or the site plans themselves.
Hey, Brian, I have a comment. This is Al.
Yes, sir.
Sullivan. Hey, we were wondering, we're not sure why the electric service is drawn to come off the west side. That's a group wire circuit, and we can't come off of that. We're going to have the electric service come off the east side. We'll probably set a pole in line with the existing pole line that's there. I don't know if we take care of that here or in the site development, or through the engineering office there.
We can take care of that through our office. I was going to get with you guys here this week and see if you did have any other further comments on it to actually submit back with a minor correction. So I'll make that note as of now and let them know the electric transformer will have to come from the other direction. Looks like the same distance one way or the other, so shouldn't be a big deal. But
we're good with it coming off that line, and like I said, we'll just have to get a pole set in there and work with the contractor at that time. But
okay.
that's all electric department had for comment.
Okay, duly noted. Fire Department, Chief Poole, do you have anything to add?
There's nothing here that's going to cause us any concern.
Okay, very good. Nate from engineering at utilities, do you have anything? I see you're on here, I believe.
I don't see anything that can't be handled through our office, basically just for the water service anyway. It's just a matter of coming in and applying for service, and we'll take care of pretty much what they requested here.
Okay, very good. Anybody else online that has any comments?
Bob, what kind of time frame are we looking at here, building-wise?
Typically, we will secure the property or make final closing arrangements on the property once we have all permits in hand. We expect that to be relatively quick. Once we do have all permits in hand, we will close on the property. That takes typically 10 days, and then 10 days to mobilize. Construction time, normally 120 days is what we allow the contractor, but I believe right now we are averaging about 74 days.
Wow.
Build completion.
Wow.
So we want to be built this year?
I'm sorry.
This year, then?
Yeah, you should be
That's
open by
correct.
Christmas.
Yes. Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Good. I guess, Dick, you've already made a comment. Barney, do you have any comments or issues or anything with this?
No.
Okay, well, if no one else has any issues, I guess I would entertain either a motion to approve or decline. I guess we can do two items. We can do one for the parking variance for the reduction in spaces, if you would like that. And if you do approve that, I would say to, say if there is a problem, we do have the authority to make them add more spaces.
I make a motion that the variance for the parking issue be approved.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, thank you. Any further discussion?
Nope.
Andy, turn it over to you. When you get
Okay,
your
I've got a motion on the floor to approve the parking variance with the condition that if more needed, they will need to be added. Dick?
Yes.
Barney?
Yes.
Bryan?
Yes.
Tyson?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Motion carried. Parking variance approved.
And then next, we'll entertain a motion to either approve or deny their site development plan.
I'll make a motion to accept the site plan.
Thank you, sir. There'll be a second.
I will second.
All right, Andrew?
Okay, a motion on the floor to approve the site development plan. Barney?
Yes.
Dick?
Yes.
Bryan?
Yes.
Tyson?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Okay, motion carried, site development plan approved.
One other item I'd like to talk about, we did move our meetings to 9 AM prior to help out one or two of the members. Would either of you guys have a problem if we went back to 1 o'clock? It seems to work better for the city employees here to do it after lunch. Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I guess I would like to have a motion and a second on that if we could, to move the meetings back to 1 PM, but keep the first Monday of the month unless it's a special meeting.
I make a motion that meetings will be moved to 1 PM.
Perfect. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
All right, thank you very much. Andrew, would you call roll, please?
Okay, a motion on the floor to move the meetings from 9 AM to 1 PM. Dick?
Yes.
Barney?
Yes.
Bryan?
Yes.
Tyson?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Anything further from Andrew or any of the members?
Yes, I wanted to see how this meeting went. I do have, additional requests. There's a fence variance, a lot split variance, and I believe there's another variance in there. Nothing pressing like these two were. I wanted to see how this went. Being this went pretty smooth, I was wondering if you guys would be willing to have another meeting here towards the end of this month, to get caught back up on some things.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Special
Be great.
meeting. And then that'll kind of eliminate our first meeting in September, which Labor Day
Right.
messes with that anyway, so.
So we're looking at maybe 3 weeks from today, potentially?
We can do,
Be the 24th or 31st.
24th or the 31st.
Yeah.
Which I will get with the people that had the request this week and see what works for them. But yes, I'll plan on the 24th.
Okay.
As of right now, I'll have to get it out in the paper this Friday. But it shouldn't be an issue.
Okay, that'd be great.
All right, I will go ahead and try to get that planned, and you'll be hearing from me probably next week.
Okay.
Sounds good.
If there's nothing further, do we need a motion to adjourn, Andy, or do I just adjourn it?
We need a motion to adjourn.
All right. Would there be a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second.
All right, Andrew?
Okay, motion on the floor to adjourn. Barney?
Yes.
Dick?
Yes.
Bryan?
Yes.
Tyson?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes, and with that, I wanted to just say a couple things. Sorry, I know we've adjourned,
That's
but
fine.
first I'd like to thank Marv, especially because he had a lot of years on planning and zoning, and Nikki as well for her 6 years. And also appreciate the improvements from Ohio Gas on their property and the cleanup and Dollar General investment that they're making over on the west side. So appreciate all of you being on the call and working with us during this pandemic and virtual meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
With that, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.